Welcome to the Gentleman's Guide to Gaming. What is a tabletop role-playing game? That's a question I get asked quite often because my full-time career is writing and developing role-playing games. And when I explain that to people, they look at me blankly. Because most people don't know what a tabletop RPG is. They're more popular today than they ever have been. And there is still a gap. When you say, I write role-playing games for a living, people don't understand. When people say, what is your hobby? Or what do you do every Sunday night? And you say, I play RPGs, they just don't know what you mean. So this video is aimed at the people who don't know what tabletop RPGs are. This is my interpretation of what a tabletop role-playing game is and can be. But I recommend checking out the comments below, because there will be lots of different thoughts on what a tabletop RPG can be. From my various viewers, I have no doubt. So at its most basic, a tabletop RPG is an improvisational theatre exercise. I know, that sounds a bit odd, doesn't it? But if you imagine a bunch of actors standing around on a stage, and the director, just off stage, gives you a scenario, shouts something up at you, and then says, go. And then all of a sudden the actors are responsible for their characters and what they do in that scene. That's what a tabletop RPG is, except you're generally not stood on a stage, you're generally sat around a table or online, and the plot that the director shouts up at you is going to be constantly fed to you through characters the director, the game master, the keeper, the storyteller adopts as examples. He may be the shopkeeper, or she may be the priest. She may be the person just off to the side. She could be the antagonist trying to hunt all of you down. Point is, the game master is responsible for establishing the world and the people within it. But you, the player, and the other players are the protagonists. It's your story. So what you do will ultimately form a legend, form an outcome, will form a story that you can look back on at the end of your RPG and think, wow, we did that, we told that story, we made these choices. And this is where tabletop RPGs differ from TV shows, plays, books, and movies, even some video games, most video games. Tabletop RPGs aren't linear. They don't have a predestined conclusion, for the most part. They are freeform. There will be systems in place that enable you to risk failure and risk dramatic success. But for the most part, you will be sat around this table, you'll be playing your character in a scene that the person at the head of the table describes, and you will be trying to achieve something as your character. And that can be personal growth, it could be acquiring treasure, it could be slaying a monster, it could be just surviving another night. Because the wonderful thing about tabletop RPGs is they can be of any genre. You can have horror, sci-fi, drama, even romance. Fantasy is probably the most well-known due to Dungeons and Dragons. But ultimately, it's up to the group what kind of game they play, and up to the GM, the game master, the person running it, to determine what they're comfortable running. As an example, the game master may start the game with you all in an abandoned factory where condensation is running down the walls, where metal hooks on chains swing gently in an absent breeze, clanking together against each other. A rich metallic stench fills the air, and you know it's old blood. All of a sudden you know you're in a horror scenario, and all the players are playing people who are trapped in this factory. You've just woken up. What are you going to do? How are you going to escape? Who put you here? There's a mystery involved. Likewise, you could be venturing down into a dungeon to kill some orcs and raid a dragon's lair. Anything can be done with a tabletop RPG. Anything. Any genre whatsoever. I remember what I once had to explain tabletop RPGs to someone who was a fantastic fan of literature. He knew everything there was to know about William Shakespeare and all of his plays. And I said to him, well, Romeo and Juliet, obviously, one of the most well-known Shakespeare plays. And imagine the scene where Mercutio and Tybalt are battling, and ultimately Mercutio is going to die as a result of this battle. We know what the chain of events that follow will be. Romeo will kill Tybalt, Romeo will be banished, Romeo and Juliet will ultimately die in tragic circumstances. Imagine if you were playing that scene, Imagine if one of the people at the table was Mercutio, one of the people at the table was playing Romeo, one of them was playing Benvolio, and only Tybalt was being controlled by the Game Master, Tybalt being the antagonist in this scene. Imagine Benvolio's character, or Benvolio I should say, is able to persuade Tybalt to drop his weapon. Maybe Romeo runs off to get the law. Maybe Mercutio overpowers Tybalt and kills him. Imagine, you can change the plot of your favourite story by role-playing it. And you can do that with aliens, with the colonial marines entering the reactor room. Imagine how that scene might have gone differently. If everyone had been armed with miniguns from the start, well, the reactor probably would have blown up. Or if everyone had known or believed that xenomorphs existed. Imagine a game as fantastic as Mass Effect that gives you so many choices throughout, but ultimately has a very restrictive set of endpoints. Imagine if you, as Commander Shepard at the table, and you as the rest of the crew, as Garrus and everyone else, could take your ship somewhere else, do something else, interact with someone in a slightly different way. This is why games like Dungeons & Dragons and Vampire the Masquerade and Call of Cthulhu and Scion and Exalted are so popular. And it's because people love having agency. People love being able to tell their own tales and feeling like by the end of it, they have all participated collaboratively in telling a dramatic and interesting story. You don't have to be an extrovert to be good at RPGs. You don't have to be amazingly smart to be good at RPGs. You don't have to be funny. You don't have to even be terribly creative, because different people are going to be good at different things. Some people are going to be excellent at playing the fighter who says little but swings a heavy sword. Some people are going to be good at playing the investigator who knows just what to say to make people quake in their boots and give their tells away. Some people are going to be good at playing the scientist, good at hatching plans and making tactics for the rest of the group to follow. Different people can fall within different niches, those roles can switch around, and in different games you can play different things, and you can tell different tales for different characters. Tabletop RPGs are a form of escapism for many people, but ultimately all they are is improvisational theatre. You sit around, you're given a scene. Sometimes it's large, sometimes it's small, sometimes it's intimate, sometimes it's quite existential. And you, as the players, get to drive wherever that scene goes. Sometimes the game master is going to put obstacles in your way. Sometimes he's going to provide supporting characters that assist you. Ultimately, it's an elaborate form of storytelling. And there is nothing that I find in the world of hobbies more fun and more rewarding than playing tabletop role-playing games. There's a reason they have been going for as long as they have, and it's because the avenues for enjoyment from tabletop RPGs are huge. Through genres, through games, through characters you might play, people you might interact with. So don't classify tabletop RPGs as the resort of antisocial introverts. Don't assume that tabletop RPGs are just for people who like to play maths games, roll dice, add them together and see what happens. They are an amazing way of coming up with fantastic stories that you will always remember and keep coming back to. So thank you very much for watching, and I should say that most of the games I write are for a company by the name of Onyx Path. I always recommend you check out my website, matthewdawkins.com, to see whether any of my credits are for books that interest you. You can quite easily find them, just type them into Google, you will find those books. Or visit theonyxpath.com to see what games we have coming up. Thanks very much for watching.